Hey, I saw you're hosting.
What?
I'm Alice. I'm 16. I'm looking for somewhere to stay. Is your place still available?
What the? Sorry, who is this? I don't have you saved.
I'm Alice from the couchsurfing site.
What site?
I found your details and added you. Don't you remember?
I don't, sorry.
Wow, your number's on the site, you know?
On the site? So someone's put my number online?
Looks that way. It's probably not a big deal. Anyway, do you think you could let me stay? Please?
Is this a prank or something? Do I have to block you?
No prank. I'm serious.
So you're really 16?
Of course I am. A fresh sophomore. I could send you a photo if you don't believe me. We do live in the same city, right? Even the same county isn't a problem for me.
Be serious for a second.
Huh?
You're 16, asking a stranger for a place to stay? Don't you realize how dangerous that is? You can't be too careful these days. There's a lot of creeps around.
What's this? Thanks for the lecture, Dad. Why are you saying this?
Why? Because you're not legally an adult. Do you do this often?
This is the first time, actually.
Make it the last, and I'll get my number off of that site. Deal? And be careful online, okay? It can be dangerous. You mustn't reach out to people like this.
Wait, I don't have anywhere to go. For real.
Just go home, okay?
I have no home. I know I'm asking a lot, but please help me. I have no one to turn to.
I'm really sorry. I'd like to help, but what could I even do?
Could you just hear me out for a second?
What is it?
It's my dad. A while back, he divorced my mom, and I've been living with him since. Recently, he started being abusive. He's been hurting me.
Hurting? Like physically?
It's okay, I can deal with a little. But recently it's gotten more frequent. Like, if housework isn't done, or if my grades are bad. Or if anything isn't how he wants. I'm always terrified of him. I can't handle much more. So I guess I've run away?
Have you told anyone about this?
I have, yes. I've actually discussed it with one of my teachers, but they don't seem to be doing anything. Maybe they're concerned about interfering? Anyway, I've had to get away.
I see. I'm sorry to hear about your situation. Where are you now?
Near the subway.
Alright, I think I can help. Could you take a taxi? I'll send you the address for my parents' place. I'll let them know the situation shortly.
Wait, you believe me? Even though I could be messing with you?
Honestly, I think it's worth trying in case you are serious. It's probably best I don't come to meet you. This is a sensitive situation, and we need to be careful. However, my parents will welcome you if you're okay heading to them.
Really? I don't want to be a burden.
Don't worry about that. If you're truly in need of help, that is.
I am, really.
Then we'll help you get everything you need. Would you let me deal with your dad? I just want to talk for now.
You can try. Sorry, I mean, yes, please, Mr. Everett. But why would you do all of this for a stranger?
Never mind that. Excuse me for sending a message out of the blue so late in the evening. Your daughter Alice gave me your contact details. I am John Everett. Hello? How do you know my daughter? She seems to have contacted me by mistake, and we've been talking as a result. Did she really? Sounds like something she'd do. She could be a handful. Sorry she bothered you. You need something from me? Actually, I would just like you to know that Alice is at my parents' place. They're keeping an eye on her at the moment. Your parents' place, huh? That's right. From what we've discussed, it seems she doesn't want to return home? I thought it best not to meet her myself, so asked my parents to do so instead. I see. Well, again, I'm sorry for all this. I'll head over immediately. That may not be necessary, sir. Why not? Alice has confided in me about her life at home. What about it? Well, seems she doesn't have a very stable relationship with you. So I contacted you to get a better understanding of the situation. I figured if I'd spoken with you, she might consider heading home. Okay, seems there's no problem then. What do you mean? She's in high school, you know that, right? She thinks her life is difficult and confusing right now. A lot of kids that age become very emotional and start acting out. Their relationship with their parents becomes strained. It's real common. Running away isn't normal, though, is it? And she's become quite the liar. Like a pathological liar, you know? Like a compulsive liar? That's right. She lies constantly. She's put me through hell with it all. Her teachers have even questioned my parenting because of it. I don't know what she said to you, but don't buy it. You're probably not the first person she's tried to pull this on. Anyway, I guess it's best I come get her. What's the address? Adults know best, huh? Seems you've been taking advantage of that phrase recently. What? If you told her teacher what you just told me, I think they'd have no option but to believe you. Okay, what's that supposed to mean? It means that whenever Alice sought help, you would just explain the situation away, like you've just tried to do with me. Oh, I see. So you're saying you believe the lies of a minor over her father? Got it. In that case, I'll have the cops resolve this. Do you think it's a smart idea for you to get the police involved? Yeah, I think it's pretty normal to go to the police when there's been a kidnapping. This isn't kidnapping. I simply wanted to know about Alice's life at home. I have nothing to say to you. The sooner this safekeeping charade is thwarted, the better. What are you talking about? Is there a woman in your life? I'm single, if that's what you're asking. Of course you are. Found yourself a schoolgirl to groom, didn't you? You're disgusting. That's not what this is. If you don't want the law involved, you'd better let my daughter go right now. I can picture the story now. Middle-aged loner desperately preys on underage girls. I'm a widower. I'm sorry to say I lost my wife a few years ago. And I have no desire to replace her. Lies. I could see your profile, you know? You don't even look 40. How's your career going? 'Cause it'll be hard to find work when you're a known sex offender. You're finished. What is this? A sudden mood change and threatening words. This is congruous with what your daughter has told me. Let my daughter go right now. I don't need the opinions of a pervert. Stay in your own pathetic bubble. I can't bring myself to return a child to a potentially dangerous household. What the hell are you saying, man? My mother has discovered injuries on her. A lot of injuries that were concealed by clothing. It would be immoral to subject her to more of such treatment. Cool, man. Expect the police real soon. You've just admitted to stripping a 16-year-old. So I hope you like prison life, you piece of garbage. Alice will be well looked after. Well, I guess I'm gonna be when I see a return on my investment. You're not gonna interfere with that. Not that you could. Investment? Right. You think I'd have kids just for the trouble of raising them? I'm gonna marry her off to the son of someone important before long. What are you talking about? This is what kids are for. This is traditional behavior. Don't you know that royal families in Europe used to marry their children off to each other for power? That's why people have kids. They may try to deny it, but it's a fact. Be honest, what do you want from yours? I'm sorry, I don't completely get what you're saying. Moron, you must want something out of your kids. Like maybe have them care for you in your old age. Financial assistance when they're working. Like I said, they're an investment. You know what an investment is, right? I don't have kids. I can't believe that would be the only reason to have them, though. Your views on raising children are upsetting. Must be nice being free to do whatever, whenever. It's gonna bite you in the ass when you're a lonely old loser, though. Maybe you could pretend you're Alice's father for the evening. You can bring her back tomorrow. You're leaving your own daughter out all night? I have my own plans tonight. Don't need this ruining them. But remember, you're a creep who's violated a girl's rights. You have no options here. If she's not back tomorrow, I'll go to the cops. Have a great night. I told you last night, didn't I? Could have just brought Alice home to save yourself a whole lot of trouble. But no, you had to screw yourself. I'd rather the cops brought Alice home anyway. Enjoy your ride to the station. If this is how you want to do things. Feel free to file a report. However, I'd appreciate if you wait until CPS can assess the situation. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Then I'll have to hope they begin their investigation before the police interfere. Why are you trying so hard to ruin me? My apologies, sir. But I can't return a child to an abusive household. I must seek protection for Alice. What protection? Protection from what? You think you could just separate a girl from her father? Nothing can happen without my permission, idiot. Of course, in a normal situation, you'd have some say. But the injuries you've inflicted on your poor daughter raise concerns about her safety. And I'm afraid the CPS can and will have her removed from your home. Alice has already shown the desire to get away, has she not? She doesn't really want this, does she? Seems so. My father was a lawyer, and we discussed everything last night. He's helped Alice understand her options. It wasn't easy for her. She cried the whole time. But ultimately, she decided to involve the CPS, and we intend to help however we can. Liar. A lawyer, how convenient. You're just worried about the cops showing up. Because you're a pervert and a kidnapper. I'll admit the police might interfere for now. But we have faith that the CPS will help Alice before long. Finding suitable foster parents may take some time. She's even suggested I adopt her. Regardless, all that matters is that she's out of your reach. You, a known pervert, adopt Alice? You can't. I've got to take her to meet her future husband next week. I might not get the chance again. You're ruining everything. Children aren't tools. I mean, seeing as you're not the European royalty of the Middle Ages you admire so much. But even if you were, I'm sure your unfortunate disposition would be a significant obstacle in realizing your plans. Oh, and by the way, seems we have a mutual friend involved in all of this? Ugh, that's just great. Yeah, Alice told me about your work, and I happen to have worked with some of your colleagues over the years. Nice try, hotshot. I know we don't work together, dumbass. Yes, you're right, but my company has collaborated with yours many times. I even have Mr. Miller's personal phone number. What? How? This isn't fair. My boss... I feel obligated to tell him about your treatment of Alice, but I hope it doesn't affect your job. I guess it seems like you're losing out on your little European marriage fantasy. That's not the only thing you're losing, though. Looks like you'll need to find a new job, too. With that, I decided to ignore any further messages from Austin. He didn't know where I lived, so I wasn't concerned about being harassed. However, I still asked those with connections to him to be careful with my personal information. Unfortunately, Alice had to change schools, but she didn't seem to mind too much. She said she'd like to stay in touch with old friends, but she understood it may be difficult with a fresh start. She was very positive about her future. I later heard from Mr. Miller regarding her father. Seems he was let go from his job and fell quite spectacularly. He turned to alcohol, which led to his involvement in a physical altercation. He's now making a living doing day jobs. As for me, well, I actually went ahead and applied to adopt Alice. My application was successful, and I've been acting as her legal guardian since. She's been no trouble at all. My parents are over the moon, too. My disinterest in remarrying made them lose hope that they'd ever have grandchildren. Now, they visit so often, I'm more or less providing for all four of us. I've always believed everything happens for a reason, and Alice's messaging me must have been some kind of miracle. I'm sure my late wife is watching, astounded. And I know she would have loved Alice too. Of course, we're both still getting used to each other. But I think if we just take things step by step, someday we'll truly be family.
Did you think you could stay away from me? I have a record now because of you. I hope you don't think there's any chance I would just give up our daughter to a simple housewife. Ha! I've already started filing for divorce. I have nothing else to discuss with you. I've already found a job and I can afford to send Lena to college. Don't think everything is going to be so easy. How big do you think the gap is between my lifetime earnings and yours? What exactly is it that you want to say? Do me a favor and just get out of our lives already. You lived with me. You saw what kind of lifestyle a big company like mine can provide. I don't think either of you will be able to stand the simple life that you can muster. You mean the lifestyle where you barely gave us any money to live on while you caroused around town with your squeeze? There was absolutely nothing luxurious about the life that we lived with you. We had to deal with your abuse every day when you got home. Throwing food, throwing Lena's textbooks. Outside the house, you pretended to be a model husband who spent quality time with his family. But inside the house, you treated us like garbage. I mean, you are garbage. Ha! One useless, good-for-nothing woman and the garbage that she begat. You couldn't even give me a son, just another woman. Destined to be as useless as her mother. And yet, instead of tossing you out like the garbage you are, I kept you around. And now you're trying to run away from me? If I had known this garbage was going to run off, I would have never bothered to pick it up in the first place. Everything would have been fine if you just listened to me. But you had to go and backtalk. Well, what do you expect? I have zero use for a husband who cheats, provides no money, and just makes our lives difficult. And give the alpha male chauvinist language a rest, why don't you? Get this through your head. Women are only good into their mid-20s. A dried-up old tart like you is zero value to anyone. That's why I got myself a young piece. She's the complete opposite of you. Great, then go live with her. And unlike you, she's got a brain in her pretty little head. She doesn't make me angry. Anyway, we'll be plenty happy never hearing from you anymore. But don't think this means that I'm gonna forgive you for running off on me. Ah, I've got it. If you ever want to see a penny of child support, you better come over here and beg me for it. Right on the doorstep in front of everyone. There's no need. I don't need so much as a penny from you. So just leave us alone from now on. Goodbye. All done. I'm on my way home now. Okay. I'll get dinner started. Thanks, hon. I appreciate how much you've been helping me out recently, even after you started working. What's this all of a sudden? Of course I'm helping out. You're always working so hard too. It's the least I can do. But you're in college now, and... What? I've been wondering if you might have a boyfriend or something. Is that what you've been worrying about? I'm not dating anyone right now, so rest easy. And even if I did, I would only date someone who understood that my mother takes priority. I'll always be on your side. I promise that will never change. Oh, Lena. That does it. I'm picking up some ice cream on my way home. Yes! All right then, drive safe. Hold on a second. Oh my god. What's wrong? What should I do? Mom, hold on! Whatever you do, don't come home yet. He's in front of the house. Huh? By he, do you mean... Yeah, it's Dad. He's slamming on the front door right now. He's doing what? Lena, are you okay? He's not in the house, right? The door's locked, so I'm okay for now. The curtains are closed too, so he can't see me. I don't think he can force his way in or anything, but I think it's best that you don't come home right now. I'll let you know as soon as he leaves. Just find somewhere to go until then. No way! There's no way I'm just going to leave you there with him. There's no telling what that man will do when he loses his temper. If he sees you, he's just going to get madder. You understand that, don't you? Right now, he's standing in front of the house yelling for you to come out. There's no way you should come home right now. Got it? Please! I'm calling the police. If I call them before anything happens, he can't get too out of hand. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Do you remember what the police said when we called them before? They said it was just a simple lover's spat. It pisses me off even now, just thinking about it. That cop was just an old man with outdated thinking like your father. Of course, it still makes me angry when I think about it too, but things must have changed since back then. At the very least, calling the cops isn't going to hurt any. I'd much rather call them than risk anything happening to you. Okay, I got it. Hold on a second. Someone is talking to him now. What's happening? Who is it? What's going on? I guess some guy from the neighborhood is talking to him right now. It sounds like his name is Shane or something. The Shane guy is warning him to cut it out, from what I can hear. Really? Shane? I wonder if he'll be okay. Your dad is in one of his moods, isn't he? It's going to be bad if anything happens. Please call the police right away. But it seems like everything's okay. He even apologized to the Shane guy. What? Well, all the neighbors and his co-workers always took him for a nice guy. Maybe he doesn't even want to look bad even in front of our new neighbors? That's true. I guess he wouldn't want to keep shouting if it was going to draw attention to him. Maybe Shane is an acquaintance of his? Whoa! He's down on his knees now! Who the heck is this Shane guy? Do you think I should go out there? No, stay inside. It's still dangerous. Just hold on. I'll be there in just a minute. I'll see what's going on. I had no idea that you were acquainted with Mr. Morales. He's the old president of my company. I guess it really is a small world. What's the deal? Coming to the house and messaging me out of the blue? You and I have quite a history, you know. I've thought about things very carefully.
I thought we agreed that you would stay away from us and that we would be history. We have no connection anymore.
Don't say that. I came over to try and fix things and reestablish our family ties.
Did you hit your head or something? You think we want to reestablish ties with you? You? Who treated us like garbage and cheated on me? Not in this life or the next.
Well, about that. Do you think we could just let bygones be bygones? I was young. I'm a totally different person now. I know I really made life difficult for you guys.
Do you know how long I've spent looking at your nice guy facade? Let me guess. You're apologizing right now because your old president happened to walk by and see you last night. You never came over to apologize or anything. The best thing for me and Lena is if neither of us ever have anything to do with you again.
I get it. I don't want to cause any more trouble for you guys. But I was hoping. Do you think you could tell Mr. Morales that you've forgiven me? If he hears it from you, I think he would definitely believe it. I don't have any way to get in contact with him myself.
You made your bed, and now you need to lie in it. Trying to barge into my house after however many years. Screaming my name and bothering all of the neighbors. Shane heard you screaming and rushed over to help us out. On top of that, you're a total stranger to me as far as I'm concerned. You should just be glad that the police don't get involved.
Yeah, but there's a real chance that I might get fired the way things stand now. After all the work that I've done to get into this company and climb the ladder. You understand, right? I can't let all of that work go to waste.
Nothing to do with me. Don't come to me looking for help. This is completely your fault. And for that matter, I heard that you told the people at your company that the reason we got divorced is because I cheated? When actually you were the one cheating and making life hell for us.
Well, I have to maintain a certain image at work, you know.
I'm guessing that that woman finally ran off on you, and you came over here to try and force yourself back into our lives. If she really was smarter than me, she would have gotten away before making the mistake of marrying you.
Of course not. The truth is that I felt a lot of pity for you and Lena, and I came over to see if I could do anything to help you guys.
Is that right? Nah, we're good. We don't need pity or anything else from a guy like you. So, no, I don't think I'll be lying to Shane for you. Besides, I told him the real reason that we got divorced ages ago. It's a little late for you to start apologizing now.
What? We were together for over 15 years. Don't you think you could do even just a small favor for your ex-husband? I'm just asking for a little support.
I can never forget what you did to us. Not even for a second. And I can't forgive you. I had no idea Shane was your old president. He volunteers to help single-parent families like ours now, you know. He's even renting his house to us at a special discounted rent. Anyway, there's no way I could lie to him after all that he's done for me.
Come on! My whole life is on the line here.
Your life has got nothing to do with me. And besides, my and Lena's lives are on the line as well. And I have to prioritize that over you. If I give in here, it'll be just like before, when you have me jumping at your every whim.
Jumping at my every whim? You know, the most important job for a woman is respecting the opinion of men.
Oh God, are you still on about that? Do you think you could say something like that in front of your coworkers? Or in front of Shane? There's no way. All the stuff going through your head is stuff you would never actually say in front of people. Don't you realize how dumb that is?
There are some things that go without saying. And women like you, the only reason you exist at all is for men like me. So you get your act together right this instant and do what I say, woman.
Actually, I seem to be getting along just great without you. You're nothing to me anymore. So don't contact me again. Goodbye forever.
Hold on a second. You're really going to treat me like that after I've come asking for your help? Man, you really are dumb. You really think your life would be better without me?
Are you still talking? Do you really think you're in a position of power here? We don't need you at all. You might have treated us like trash, but the biggest trash in our lives the whole time was you. That's why we threw you away. So why don't you get your act together? And acknowledge that it's you who is nothing but trash. Soon after that, Tad, my ex, was demoted and transferred out into the boonies, far away from us. As his old president, Shane could have got him fired. But there was really no telling what he might have done to us if that happened. So, taking that into account, Shane figured that it would be better just to use the transfer as a way to get him away from us. As part of the transfer, he was also demoted from a manager position back down to regular staff. There is no telling how well a guy as arrogant as he is can put up with that kind of situation. But I really doubt he could quit and risk the status of working at a big famous company. I expect he'll plaster a fake smile on his face and just take it. Apparently, Shane also grew up in a single-parent home. So, after he retired, he wanted to support other single mothers. Every day, I count my blessings. Having someone like that living in my neighborhood, and even willing to go so far as to rent me my house at a discount. If it weren't for him, I'm sure my ex-husband would have done something to me and Lena. Of course, we would have called the police. But the police only take care of things after something has already happened. Not only that, but even if they were to arrest him, it's not like he would go to jail after just one time. My biggest fear is that I would end up losing everything. With that in mind, I really think the current situation is really the best way forward. In other news, it seems that Tad's girlfriend really did run off on him and ended up getting married to some young elite. It seems I was right on the money in guessing that's why he showed up at the house. I think any woman would have to run away from him in the end. He couldn't find anyone else willing to put up with him, so he came knocking at my door. It makes me angry to think that he actually thought I would get back together with him. But things are finally actually finished now. As long as he is working at his current company, he won't come back here again. So from here on out, Lena and I can get back to the lives we've built. As trash as my ex is, he at least did one thing that I can be thankful for. Giving me Lena. She is the most valuable thing in the world to me.